What's the most common injury you see in your practice?
Aside from like your standard lower backs, it will be like knee or ankle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense for running.
Yeah, and I love to work with toes.
Yeah? I'm clipping that. Why is that?
So you like feet?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, yeah, I somewhat have a low-key fetish to it.
Yeah.
Anytime someone walks in, they're like, oh, sorry, Kev, my feet stink. I'm like, nah, man, take
It's
your
all
sock
good.
off. Hop onto the bed. Let's have a look at what you mean.
Get on the bed.
Take your socks off now.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I feel like your feet or your toes are like your fingers.
Yeah,
so you
like
got
your
like,
hands.
you got muscles in your feet. And when you run, they are the first point of contact upon touching the ground. They absorb force, they produce force. And if they could do it effectively and you've got strength and mobility in it, it takes a portion of the pressure away from above the chain.
Wow. It's like you know a lot about feet.
Yeah, to some level of water physio, yeah, but otherwise I refer to a podiatrist. But yeah, like I love feet and
Yeah.
It's good that you mentioned that because I'm thinking back because I did my exercise and science degree as well.
Yeah.
And I had an exercise physiologist who was my tutor for one of my pracs that I was doing. And one key thing that she taught me that I still actually teach some of my clients right now today is putting a tennis ball under the mid part of your foot, and that releases tension all through the posterior chain of your body.
Yeah, right.
Is that true?
I don't know if it releases the whole posterior chain. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But I know that it releases like the foot tension that you have.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Okay, so it's more foot tension than releasing the posterior chain.
Yeah, like maybe there is something that does, but I'm not too sure on my end.
The way she taught it, right, was we would do knees straight, try to touch your toes as far as you can.
Yeah.
And then do that foot roll thing, and I'll do like 100 rolls.
Yeah.
And
Geez, that's a lot, man.
Jeez,
100.
100 rolls, and I'll get like around 2 centimeters increased.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he only knows from the ankle down, so anything up from the ankle,
No.
out of the question.
I only know toes to heel.
How important is it to have the right running shoe for running?
I'd say it's one of the like the higher tier type of importance. Obviously, like strength and training volume and age is more important. But yeah, like if you're running often, like I'd say 3 times as a minimum a week, running shoes is important. But if you're just a casual, I'm just doing it once a week, running whatever. Yeah, it's not enough stimulus to get you hurt until you pick it up.
Okay, so you can get away with thongs then.
You can. Yeah. Have you seen that Instagrammer that just like runs in different shoes?
Oh, yes, I have actually.
Yeah, he runs in like high heels and gum boots. Oh, it's so cool.
Or David Goggins barefoot.
Yeah. And there's this bloke on YouTube who ran a marathon in Crocs.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
It's
Ran a whole marathon in Crocs.
Yeah.
I would have just like hopped on a little buggy just to watch him the whole time. That would have been mad.
Yeah. So yeah, like I mean, I encourage like barefoot running if you have a strong history in running, because in that way you could really feel your feet, and you could really tap into like where your forces are going through. But that's only if you're a seasoned runner and you really have a good understanding of your body.
Like you have a good history of it.
Yeah.
Are you pushing this agenda so you can see more feet on the road?
Yes.
Now it's on social. It's like, come on down.
More feet, guys.
But are you saying this for on the grass though, or on actual concrete as well?
In a sense, both.
Yes, okay.
Obviously, like if people want to do that, like I don't recommend it, because it's like you have to really understand yourself, your body, and you have to understand how to like expose it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why you said experienced runners. Like people have been doing it for a long time.
Yeah. And like for myself, I like to walk around barefoot, but I also like to have different varied shoes. So you have different forces that are applied throughout the body differently. Like something that's more cushioned, high stack, so you're a bit more elevated, will put more pressure around the quads and the knees, versus something that's more flatter, will have more around the ankle and the calf and the Achilles.
So would you say that the foot is a very important structure to everything in the body?
I'd say it has a...
More for a lower limb, I mean.
Yeah, like it has a higher tier importance to it all. Yeah. Like, I mean, when there are foot exercises or toe exercises to improve the control and the strength of your toes. Yeah. So similar to your fingers. So I always get people to do strength work for their toes, mobility and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just for everyone that's watching right now, he's made us all take our shoes off, so we're all barefoot under the...
And we're all interlocking our toes.
Oh, don't move too far away, man.
Tell us a little bit about Ground Up. So that's your business, that's your brand? Okay.
Yeah.
And tell us how that all started.
So it was just a brand or like a platform I created during COVID. So it was like 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
And given my sort of like my background in terms of my mental, emotional health side of things, I figured I went through like a dark period, say late teens, early 20s, and then sort of started to develop these strategies on how do I manage these emotions and the things that I faced. And so the core pillars that I sort of figured out during that time was like, if you want to be this type of person and think this type of way, you just got to put in the reps. So it was like being consistent with some of these things. And then you had to be consistent, patient with it too. So you come around a lot of roadblocks. And so it's like, how do you work around these roadblocks when these come about? And it will test what you've learned and what you've implemented. And then you have to be dedicated to it as well. And so working on a very strong base, like a pyramid. And so if you've got a strong base, you could start to work on the second tier and then the top tier. So
building from the ground up.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I love it.
And I was thinking ground up, my mind went straight from feet up, you know?
Yes. Yeah. But you do as well. Like in essence, you do work from your feet up. So when people, runners come in, or even like just general people, it's like, I've got knee pain, hip pain, whatever. Cool, let's take your shoes off, your socks off. Yep. Let's see you squat. Let's just see how you move.
Yeah.
What are your toes doing? Where is your center of mass shifting? Do your toes claw? That means you're not utilizing your fingers or your toes to grip onto the ground appropriately.
Yeah.
And once you do that, you tend to see people's balance improve a lot more without touching anything up higher.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because that was my next question. Like, if a runner comes in, the first thing you do is shoes off, socks off.
Yes.
That's your first point of action.
I'm Asian. Shoes and socks left outside the door.
I was like, oh, he's going to go serious about this, bro.
No. That's a joke. So come in, and I like to just look at how their feet is shaped as well.
Yeah.
Do they have like a huge bunion? Where the calluses are placed? Are they very flat-footed? But is that normal for them, flat-footed, or is it like developed because of structural weakness?
Yes.
And then that's when the questions start to roll in about like, is this normal for you? X, Y, Z. If it's normal, I just leave it. If it's abnormal in a sense and it's causing issues, we play around with it.
So I'd assume you're like big on shoes and shoe health, like the choice of shoes that people have. Because I'm assuming that people that have high heels, they're like their feet are like clamped in.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah.
And do you have a lot of patients that come in that might wear tight shoes that you're like, hey, that's why these problems have
arisen? Yeah, no, definitely. Particularly like with the phase of carbon plated shoes. Yeah. They are very narrow through the top. And so you'll see a lot of them come in with very bunched toes. It's like, cool. Like, and then I'll do a couple of assessments. Like, is this a normal bunched toe or is this like a adaptive situation? And then we sort of go from there. And then even for myself, like I play around with shoes and all that. And so I used to wear very tight shoes, shin splints, when I do refereeing. Say, cool, what if I got rid of these boots that were very narrow, got a bit wider, worked on my toe strength, and then you started to see your muscles in your toes or your feet develop. And then my toes didn't get as bunched, and then stopped having shin splints, and then stopped having as many calluses on my big toes. And now I wear it's called like barefoot shoes in a sense, where it's like zero drop. There is a bit of cushioning, but you've also got a bit of a wider base for the feet. Yeah. And since I've been wearing more of that to trial it out, my feet have become like more splayed, so wider. Yeah. And I don't pinch up into my toes as much anymore. And my injuries that I used to have when I did the marathon 2 years ago, that they no longer exist. But that's complementary of strength training on top of that too.
Of course.
Yeah, because you're doing all those things in the background. In our football team, and I feel like this is across the board because I've been playing football my whole life, shin splints tends to be the most common injury.
Yeah.
But not really injury, but the common thing that people present themselves with after a soccer game, before a soccer game, before training.
Yeah.
We have two guys on our team with
Yeah,
shin
right now,
splints at
but
the moment.
Oh, wow.
every year there's at least one or two
Yeah.
people that have shin splints, either for short periods or for long periods throughout the season.
Yeah.
Would you say that's down to them wearing tight shoes throughout the day, or is it their boots?
It could be many factors. I think it's like comes down to what they do for work as well. Like if you're wearing steel cap shoes or boots, like you tend to have a higher potential of experiencing shin splints because your feet are so stuck and you're in heavy shoes all the time. So you